welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking an overwhelming mess of raw sales data and transforming it into actionable business insights. We're going to do this through 5 distinct levels of mastery. Whether you're staring down your very first spreadsheet or you just want to sharpen your analytical edge, this journey is all about turning pure numbers into a compelling narrative. We're going to take a massive, unorganized data set and systematically conquer it right there on your grid. Let's go! So let's start with a really crucial question. How can anyone possibly make sense of thousands of rows of scattered transactions without completely losing their mind? It's a super common feeling, right? You get this massive export from your company's sales system, you open it up, and boom, you're hit with an absolute wall of text and numbers. It is intimidating, but here's the secret. You don't tackle it all at once. We're going to level up step by step. Okay, let's dive into our main workspace, the grid. Right now, we're looking at this raw sample Superstore dataset, and yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. It's just packed with raw sales, steep discounts, and yikes, even negative profits. I mean, look at that second row. Felina Ober bought office supplies with an 80% discount. That gave us a negative $5 profit. Absolutely brutal. Now, before we try to fix Felina's order in our grid, take a quick glance up at the title bar at the very top to make sure we're actually in the right file. We're going to need to grab some tools from our ribbon, that toolbox at the top of your screen, and definitely check the formula bar to see if that 80% discount was a typo or just a really bad calculated error. Today, we're leveling up your skills with this exact roadmap. We'll start with the raw data challenge, move on to level 1, foundational cleaning, hit level 2, pivot table perspectives, visualize trends in level 3, apply advanced formula logic in level 4, and finish up with the ultimate boss fight, level 5, the ultimate dashboard. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, the raw data challenge, understanding the monster.
Which brings us right to level 1, foundational cleaning, setting the stage. Look, we can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation. If you look down at the very bottom of your screen at the sheet tabs, you'll see we have multiple pages of this stuff. The volume is just massive. If you highlight a column, that status bar at the bottom right gives you a quick sum, which is super handy, but we need to go way deeper than that. During this initial audit, we're hunting down blanks in the grid and using the formula bar, that long white bar under the ribbon, to engineer powerful calculated columns like profit margin and days to ship. By typing a simple equal sign, we divide profit by sales to get our profit margin percentage for every single order. We subtract the order date from the ship date to figure out exactly how long our logistics team is taking. By cleaning up the formatting and building these columns, we set up our data so it can actually answer the real business questions we care about.
Moving on to level 2, pivot table perspectives, summarizing the chaos.
Once your data is clean, you want the big picture, right? Creating a pivot table is highly mechanical and actually pretty simple. Just select any active cell inside your data table. You can check the little white name box just below the ribbon to see your exact cell address. Then hit the Insert tab and choose Pivot Table. You pick your location and boom, a new pane opens up where you can drag fields into rows and values. And this brilliantly illustrates the magic of pivot tables. By simply dragging a product field to the rows area and a sales amount to the values area, it instantly reveals your leading sellers and your total revenue. In literally a fraction of a second, the software calculates those grand totals for you. You don't need to write a single complex formula in the formula bar to do this. You instantly see exactly how much revenue was generated across different categories, shrinking that massive, chaotic 10,000-row grid down to a clean 4-row summary. It's a total game changer. Next up, level 3, visualizing trends, a picture is worth 1,000 rows. You know, numbers on a grid are great, but if you want to persuade a manager or make a real impact, we need visual stories. Take a category sales bar chart. It makes it immediately obvious which product categories are driving the most revenue for the Superstore. Instead of reading raw numbers and trying to do the math in your head, your brain instantly processes that office supplies are just far outpacing furniture and technology in sheer transaction volume. Visuals absolutely cut through the cognitive load and deliver the insight directly to you. And backing that up with a donut chart effortlessly breaks down our sales share across the East, West, Central, and South regions at a single glance. It paints a really balanced picture of regional performance, showing the East region holding just a slight lead. Combining different visual types like this helps round out your analysis. It rapidly shifts our perspective from what we're selling to exactly where we're selling it. All right, let's get into level 4, advanced formula logic, automating insights. Welcome to the hidden machinery of Excel. Now, what's really interesting here is how we can use a nested IF statement to automatically rate every single order's shipping performance based on the days it took to arrive. We just type this right into the formula bar, and suddenly, instead of a column of random numbers representing days, we get clear text labels: fast, normal, or slow. This allows us to instantly count how many orders are suffering from slow shipping. We are automatically flagging bottlenecks in our supply chain without having to manually check a single row in the grid. How cool is that?
We can also use advanced formulas for something called RFM customer segmentation. This classifies our buyers as champions, loyal, or at risk based on their buying habits. By mathematically scoring recency, how recently they bought, frequency, how often they buy, and monetary value, how much they spend, we transform simple transaction data into a highly sophisticated marketing tool. We go from simply knowing John bought a stapler to knowing John is an at-risk customer who used to spend a ton but hasn't visited in 6 months.
Finally, the climax of our journey. Level 5, the ultimate dashboard, the boss fight. This is where we bring everything together into one interactive interface. Here, we're running a what-if scenario, contrasting the bleeding profits of unlimited discounts against a stabilized model where we actually cap those discounts. Remember when we dug into the data earlier? We noticed orders for things like binders and storage shelves being sold at 70 or 80% discounts, which was completely destroying our profit margins. By using GoalSeek and data tables in our dashboard, we can mathematically model a brand new reality. What happens to our bottom line if we simply refuse to discount anything past a certain threshold? So here's the crucial takeaway. Modeling a strict 20% discount cap reveals exactly how much massive profit the superstore could instantly recover. It totally stops the bleeding on those heavy loss-making products while still keeping our pricing competitive. This single insight, which we generated through our layered levels of analysis, provides a direct, actionable strategy that could literally redefine the entire company's profitability. Now that you understand the 5 levels of analysis, navigating everything from the title bar at the top down to the sheet tabs at the bottom, from raw data up to an interactive dashboard, I'm going to leave you with a bonus challenge. Can you dive into your own data and identify the one single order that caused the largest loss? Remember, knowledge is only power when it's actually applied. So open up your grid, grab your tools from the ribbon, and start hunting. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy analyzing.